Greetings, I'm Doc V. Today we're going to continue on the African American male and his position on Maslow's need hierarchy, which title has been changed to the Black Man's Mountain. We're going to go back to Maslow's need hierarchy and the Black Man's Mountain. We're going to talk about the physiological needs, safety needs, love and belonging, esteem, and self-actualization. You are, or most people are aware of the fluctuations that happen along each level of this hierarchy. We have a small percentage of people in general who self-actualize at the top, and then we have a larger percentage that are in the middle of the pyramid. They're dealing with love and belonging, self-esteem issues, and safety and physiological needs. Today I want to talk about physiological needs and something that is really troubling to me. When I leave for work in the morning and travel on the interstate for about 15, 20 miles, when I exit on the interstate, I see people, mostly men, of not just African American males, but men of all races, African Americans, Hispanics, whites. In the morning, I see them sitting out there on the corner with a cardboard card that says, "I need money for food," or "We'll work for food," or "Anything you can donate," or "Please help." And this grips me when I see this situation. It grips me because I see how many times during my life where I could have been in that same situation. Many people are one or two checks away from being put out, or one or two traumatic instances where they have to leave the home, or there's a loss of job, or there's something that damages your credit or damages your legal history. There are people who are in the dumps now, or who are struggling now, who at one time were on a job that was paying well, their credit was well, and they were maintaining. But what we have now are people who, if you would talk with some of them and learn their history, you'll see that some of them have degrees. Some of them used to hold a mortgage. Some of them had a situation that was looking pretty well, looking pretty good. And for some reason, it might have been their fault, it might have been extenuating circumstances, they find themselves wanting or without. But when it gets to the point where you're on the corner and you're holding a piece of cardboard that says, "I'll work for food," and then once I leave work and I'm heading home, there's another group sitting out there holding cardboard. And then during the evening time, that's where you find women out there, women holding a cardboard saying, "Please, anything, I need food, can you help me?" They walk right out there at the stoplight, at the ramp, at the end of the ramp, getting off of the interstate, and they're sitting there, and you know they want money. I feel so terrible when I see this. Oftentimes I keep some dollar bills in my glove compartment or in my armrest where I can just give them something to do something, or give them an encouraging word or something. But how much can you do? Sometimes I want to pick one of them up and take them to the house, clean them up, put some clothes on them, and then put them back out again. But that's too risky. In this day and time, that is just simply too risky. What do you do? How do you help these people? These people that seem like they've unplugged from society and they have no means and no way and no help. There's a radio station in Atlanta, in the metro Atlanta area, but there's a talk show where they have a financial advisor. And he's got a big name throughout Atlanta. They said he can help you with your 401k. He can help you with your deposits. He can help you with your mortgages or your rental properties, your retirement funds. He's just brilliant. He can just handle and just answer all these questions. And I listen to the program quite often, and I learn about people that call in and they say, well, I've got 500,000 in my 401k and I don't know really how I should allocate it. And should I invest some of it into some more risky investments? Should I play the stock market? And he's advising these people have money. I've got 3 cars and I only drive 2 of them. Should I sell one or should I give it away? And I'm listening to this and I'm like, this is really something. This is really frustrating because there's a whole demographic of people that can't even relate to what this financial guru is talking about. They can't even understand what he's talking about because they don't have a place to stay. Many times they don't even have a cell phone. Many times they have a criminal record, or maybe there's some mental problems going on. So my concern is, how do we help these people? What do we do for people who don't have a main address? What do we do for people that don't have a regular paying job or don't know when where their next meal is coming from? How do we help those people? I don't have an answer. I don't have a direct answer, but I do have some things that I would like to share, some knowledge and experience that I would like to share now. If you know someone who is about to be put out, who is in a situation where their physiological needs are being threatened, their sense of balance, their sense of safety, just living is a chore for them, there's some things that you can do to help these people. You might not be able to give them money, put them in your house, put them in an apartment, but you can share with them some wisdom. Let's start off here. A person has to have a home address. They have to have an address where they can get mail, where they can verify that they live somewhere. If they can't really reside there, maybe it's a relative or someone whose address you can use, P.O. Box, something. This has to be established. Either renting a room, either temporarily staying at a relative's house. You must establish residency somewhere. After that, you must have a way for someone to contact you. You must have a cell phone. Then you must find some kind of work. There's got to be something that you can do to bring in income. Something. It's not going to be a lucrative job. It's not going to be the top choice, but it's something you can do. Something you can do with your hands. Something labor, cleaning up, cleaning up at the park, or cleaning up a facility, or getting a job at a restaurant, cleaning, something, washing dishes at the back in a restaurant, something. No, it's not a beautiful job. It's nothing you want to brag about, but it's something steady. Find something you can do to bring in some kind of income. Find a place of residency and get a cell phone. This is how you're going to get off the street. People that are on the street are probably not going to hear this message. But if you see someone on the street, you see someone going through, someone suffering, and you can pick them up, or if you can't, even if you can't trust them in your car, you can point them to a restaurant down the street. Say, meet me at this restaurant. Meet me at the Piccadilly, or meet me at Golden Corral, or meet me at KFC, and let's sit down and talk. I'm gonna feed you. I'm gonna treat you to dinner. Let's talk. That's something you can do. And when you talk to them, you can find out, why are you in this situation? Why are you on the street holding a card saying, I'm hungry, I need food? Why do you have, I've seen some people come in from foreigners come in from over the border, and they have their wife there and a little 3-year-old toddler and a infant that's in a baby crib. And they're saying, can you help me? Can you do something? I try to give when I can. I try to have some change so that I can pass money off to these people to possibly help them, or at least let them slow down and listen to what I have to say. It's a serious situation when you have to, when your life takes such a drastic turn that you become a beggar on the street. It's terrible. It's terrible. I don't want to get too personal about my past, but there was a time where I was homeless. I wasn't on the street corner begging. I had a piece of a job, but I ended up having to stay in a basement somewhere. What? Doc V? Doc V? It was years and years ago, but it happened and I remember it. I kept my mind, I kept my focus. I prayed and I fought through this thing, where finally I was able to get my own place. I was able to get promoted on the job. I was able to finish the second degree, and I was able to acquire another job and then a better place. This didn't happen overnight. This happened over a period of years, over a period of 10, 15 years. I had to climb and climb and climb and climb. How did I get in that situation? That's another story. But you must know that you might have the best laid out plans. You might have the best health. You might have the best people around you. You might have the greatest potential. But we live in a world where things can happen. Extenuating circumstances can all of a sudden be facing you, or the future decisions that you will make can determine where your life goes off to. The person that you choose to join your soul with, the person that you choose to marry, the right person along your side, you could end up a business owner, a successful business owner, the president of the company, or the president of the United States. On the other hand, you could marry the wrong person and you could end up with a criminal record. You could end up in jail. You could end up busted and broke with nothing. Decision making and trusting in the Lord, because we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, spiritual things that are happening around us that many people don't even apply that to their lives. They don't believe it. They just say, well, it's just how hard you work and who you hang around with. Yes, this is true. But above that, there is an enemy, a silent, invisible enemy that is set to destroy lives. But there is a God in heaven who will bless your life and who will guide you out of darkness and out of these obstacles and build you back up and set you at a place where you can speak to others that are also, or that have gone through the same situation, and you can pull them in and talk to them and share with them your wisdom and cause their lives to turn around because of what God has put in you and how you impart that same thing that He put into you into others. I'm a witness. It's one thing to be raised up in the church. Your parents put you in the youth choir, and you make you an usher when you become a teenager, and you're in all the church services, and then when Christmas and Easter come, you go and you say a little piece in front of the church and everything. That's one thing. The Bible says, train up a child in the way they should go, and they won't depart from it. But then there comes a transition from your parents putting you in front of the minister, putting you in church, and teaching you the Bible stories, and teaching you what God can do. Then there comes a point in time where it becomes a reality. Comes a time where you get arrested, or you get assaulted, or you get fired from your job, or you get in a car accident, and the world is falling down around you. Then all those things that you were taught growing up, practical application is looking you right in the eye. Can you apply these things and can you walk in it? Can you walk through the forest, through the jungle, with all these things happening and believe God, no matter what you see, no matter how bad it looks? Can you trust God and keep walking and keep moving forward until deliverance comes? This message applies to everybody, because just because you're in a wonderful situation right now, just because you're in a great situation and you're blessed right now, does not mean that this situation is going to continue. We are in a war over systems of this world. But with Christ in us, we partake in his nature. And through the midst of the lost, God preserves an ark of people strong in covenant that can help bring back that which once was lost. There's always going to be the poor and broken amongst you. I thank God that for the time being, he has me at a place where I'm able to give and I'm able to do some things that at one time I couldn't do and that many people aren't able to do. And I give all the glory and honor to God, because just like that, it can be taken. You can be at the gym 4 times a week, taking health shakes and protein shakes, and you could be driving on the interstate, roll your window down, and a bug fly in your nose, and you jump up and knock it out and get in a wreck, and your whole life has changed. I always come up with stories, and I got one real quick for you. I have arachnophobia. And when I was younger, I was not afraid of snakes. I could grab a snake by its head before it struck and just look at it and just throw it down. It wasn't a problem. But something about spiders. I was leaving the house and spider webs were all over the front door. I used to go out the back through the garage. There were spider webs during the fall season. Wiped the spider webs off, got in the car and drove to work. When I got to work, got out of the car and looked down, there was a spider on my pants. I thought I was going to pass out. I knocked the spider off and stomped it and started shaking. And I realized that if I would have seen the spider while I was on the interstate fighting traffic, I probably would not be talking with you right now. Serious. I believe that the Lord protected me and the angels kept me from noticing that spider on my lap. I believe that. What I'm saying is, I believe that the angel stopped me from detecting that spider on my lap while I was fighting traffic. Because having arachnophobia, I've been out of here. Me and the spider would have been dead. Y'all can laugh if you want to, but I believe that God covers us and he protects us. But we have to still go through a test. This life is a test, and we have to go through it. I'm Doc V. And I'm going to see you next time. I'll see you next time.